So this is the first question on the first worksheet. So you have your picture that looks like this one with the pink and orange. Okay, so let's start with, what do we always start with?
No.
Cool, what do we know?
That you got 5 grams of O2.
Perfect, and what are you trying to find?
Grams of NO2.
Okay, so blank grams of NO2. So if you say that the O2 is compound A and NO2 is compound B, what is going to be our strategy? How are we going to get from one to the next?
I don't know. I put the mole ratio.
Okay, so for the first, wait, mole ratio to go from what to what?
Oh, no, never mind.
So we're looking at this chart, right? So on compound A, which is oxygen, and we're starting at mass. So you see the mass on that side?
Mm-hmm.
And then our finish line is mass on the other side. So we need to follow, every arrow is a different step that we have to do. So we're going from mass of O2, and then what's the arrow? We got to read everything going straight across. It's going to give us all our directions. So we have mass O2, and then we're going to moles of O2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from moles of O2, where are we going?
After you go to the mass of O2.
We just left a mass of O2. So we have mass of O2, moles to O2.
Then once you go from there. Wait, so which way are you going on the paper?
So can you see the paper? It's backwards on the camera. But you see, so we're here in this orange spot. We just said we're going from mass to moles. Now we need to go over again to moles.
So it's gonna be most O2 again.
But moles of NO2, because now we're in the pink.
Okay.
Cool. So you have moles of NO2. And then what's the last thing?
And then you go to mass of NO2.
Right. So you gotta really follow all the arrows. So going from orange to pink. So this is everything we're gonna do. So we're gonna break up each arrow into a step because we can't just do it all at once. So we're gonna go from mass of O2 to moles of O2. And how do we do that? According to the chart.
Going back to it. You gotta use molar mass.
Perfect. So I'll just put that in here. Molar mass. And then let's do it. So what will be the first thing that I write?
You gotta write O2 times 16.
Right. So we have our MR of O2, which is 16 grams per mole. How many oxygens do we have?
2.
2, which equals 32 grams per mole. So that's our molar mass. Now, what are we going to do with this molar mass?
Then you're gonna go from that molar mass to moles.
Perfect. So now I need to start drawing stuff, right? So what am I starting with? What do we know?
5 grams of O2.
Perfect. So you have 5 grams of O2. And then we're going to multiply it by, what's going to go on the bottom? What's going to go on the top?
When do you put the gram? 32. Wait, you're using 32, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go put it on the bottom. You go put grams.
Right. So you have 32 grams O2 on the bottom, and then what will go on the top?
1 mole.
Perfect. And that came from the molar mass. And then we just put that in a calculator. So I'll just draw air.
You gotta do 5 over 32.
Bang. And what that gives you?
You get 0.15625.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that. 0.15. What did you say? Let me do it on my calculator too. 5 divided by 32. 0.5625. And what is that we have? What's this number?
Huh? You
What?
got moles of O2.
Perfect. Moles of O2. So we're done our first step. Now that we have moles of O2, What do we need to turn this moles of O2 into?
Now you gotta go to modes of NO2.
Perfect. So let's use a different color so we can keep all our steps separate. So now we're going from moles of O2 to moles of NO2. And how do you do that?
Don't you gotta use mole ratio?
Yeah. So let me type that in there. Use mole ratio. Cool. What's our mole ratio?
Oh, you got 2. Use 1.
What? So remember, where do we look for our mole ratio?
It's 7.
Right. So we're looking at our equation. So we have a 7, and then what's in front of NO2?
4.
4. Bang. Now what?
Oh, gotta write this down.
Mm-hmm. So what do we have? I don't want this to be.
Oh, you gotta do. What do you do? Which one would you do? Like which part would you use? The one we just did in the red.
Mm-hmm. Because we're going from moles of O2, and that is our moles of O2.
So you gotta put 0.15.
Yeah. One sec. Change the color. 0.15625 moles of O2, and then I'm gonna multiply it by something. What am I multiplying it by?
And then you got put O2, and then you multiply it. But for
Mm-hmm.
the bottom, you're gonna put the 7 moles of O2.
Perfect. 7 moles of O2. And then what's gonna go on the top?
And then you're gonna put 4 moles of NO2.
Perfect. Mole
And
of
then now you multiply that times 4. And
bang.
then divide it by 7.
Perfect. So let's do that. So times 4. In my calculator, I got 0.08928.
Okay.
What are our units?
And the unit's gonna be. Wait, you got moles on both. So wouldn't it be moles
Yeah, moles of what though?
of NO2?
Perfect. Hey. So now we have moles NO2. So if we look back up at our strategy, we have moles NO2. What's our last step?
Huh?
What's our last
You gotta go to the mass of
Perfect.
NO2.
And how do I go to mass?
You gotta use molar mass.
Perfect. So doing moles NO2 to mass NO2 mole mass.
Y'all can hear that.
Okay, so let's do the molar mass of NO2. So we have nitrogen. I don't even have a periodic table.
And it's gonna be 14.
Here we go, 14 grams per mil. How many? We only have one of them. We have 14 grams per mil. And then oxygen weighs how much? You're supposed to be helping
And
me.
you got 2, and then it's gonna be 32.
Thank you. When we add these
trying to
together,
write it too.
okay. When we add these together, we get.
Don't you gotta add it together?
Yeah. So it's gonna be what?
It's gonna be 46.
Perfect. Energy. We have everything we need here. Cool. So now we gotta set it up, right? So what is it gonna look like? What do I write down first?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
No.
Okay, so we're going from moles of NO2. So whatever we're starting with should always be what we're starting with in our equation. Do we have moles of NO2?
Yes.
Yeah, it's up here in blue, right? So let's write that. Oops.
I do 0.089286.
Mole NO2.
Are you stopping right there?
What'd you say? Yeah, I mean, we don't have enough space for me to write it. I'm gonna put in the full number the full number still in my calculator. So I'm just gonna do whatever next steps we have. Okay, so we have this. Now what am I gonna do with my molar mass?
The molar mass will go on the bottom.
I don't know. We gotta make sure our units cancel. So if I have moles NO2, I'm trying to get out grams.
So the grams will go on top and moles are going to go on the bottom.
Perfect. So I'm gonna put my 46 grams of NO2 on the top. And I'm gonna put my, how many mils of NO2?
You got 1.
Right, because it's grams per mole. So mole NO2 on the bottom. Then we just put that in our calculator. So times, what is it?
4.1. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, and our units, and that's it. This when I asked you for this first strategy, this is like the overall strategy, and then when we break it down, we'll go through. So like our strategy is that we're gonna go from 42 grams of S8 to what first, if we're following our chart.
It's going to be 42 grams of S8.
And then what are we going to next?
Wait, this is which one? Compound A or B?
Well, you can name them. So like we'll say that the S8 is compound A. We're starting at grams, and we're trying to get all the way to moles in pink.
You where?
Well, I'm in mass in the orange, and I'm trying to get to moles in pink.
Okay, so then you gotta do mass of S8
Mm-hmm.
to mole. I mean, yeah, to moles.
Yeah.
So you can use molar mass.
Moles S8, and then what are we gonna do after we get moles of S8?
After you do, you're gonna use the mole ratio.
To get.
And how?
Right, we're gonna use the mole ratio to get moles of SO3. I'm just gonna break it down a little bit further first. Okay, so let's do our first. Oops, no, you stay red. Let's do our first wrong. So this one we're doing from 42 grams of S8 to moles of S8, and then you told me that we're going to use what to go from grams to moles?
And you gotta.
Looking at the chart. Go from orange mass to orange moles. What does the arrow say to use?
Moles S8. And you said it use, huh?
What are we using to go from the mass to the moles?
Mass to moles, you gotta use molar mass.
Cool. So use molar mass. So let's do, what's the molar mass of S8?
I gotta figure out. 8 solve for 32 times 8.
32 times 8. 256 grams per mole S8. Cool. Now what do we do with this number?
Huh?
I said, cool. Now what are we going to do with this number?
After you do that, you're gonna do. Wait a minute. You're gonna use 256 grams per mole, and then you're gonna wait. We did okay. You gotta find the mole ratio.
Not yet. We haven't solved it.
Huh?
We haven't solved it yet. So we don't need the mole ratio yet. We're just going from grams to moles. So,
right. What are you dividing?
Right. So I'm going to put my 42, right? I'm going to write what I have. Oops. My 42 grams of S8 Now am I gonna put my my 252 grams on the top or on the bottom?
Yes, you wasn't. And
Which
then,
one?
no, I ain't talking about my.
Where am I gonna put the
You're gonna put 32 grams on the bottom.
Cool. Well, not 32
I'm
grams.
at 256.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do our 256 grams on the bottom, and then what I put on the top?
And then on top, you're gonna put 1 mole.
1 ml of SA on the top, and then we just gotta pop that in our calculator.
So then you gotta do 42 divided by that.
Yeah. I'm gonna rewrite 42 grams.
You get 0.1642625
Perfect. And then what are my units?
mole of S8.
Perfect. Mil of S8. It's really important that we keep track of the units, or we're gonna get confused. Okay, let's move on to our next color then. Step 1 is done.
And then
So this one, what are we starting with?
huh?
What are we starting with here?
Now you gotta do the mole ratio.
Right, so we're gonna do mils of S8 to mils of SO3. Use mil ratio. Mil ratio. Okay, so what's the mil ratio of S8 to SO3?
S8 is 1
Mm-hmm.
to 8
To 8. Great. How did you know that?
from the equation.
Okay, now what we do?
And now you gotta use the 0.16.
I want that to be green. Okay, cool. So you have our 0. I'm just gonna put 0.16 for speed.
Huh? But you're gonna use the whole equation.
Yeah, I'll use the whole one in my calculator. So
then you wanna put okay. S8. So do you gonna put S8 on the bottom? 1 S8.
yeah, perfect. 1 mil S8 on the bottom, and then what goes on top?
8 moles of SO3.
Perfect. Then we'll put it in the calculator.
Times 8. You get 1.3125.
1. Let me just do it. 3.25. And what is this?
And then you gonna put moles of SO3, right?
Yes. Good, good, good. Okay, let me just cross out some of our units just to make sure that we're doing it. Okay. Are we done?
Yes. Right?
Yeah. Find a number of moles of SO3. That's it. So you did it. Okay. So we're going from mass HCl, moles to HCl, and then what do we have to go to next? Using the chart.
Moles. You got mole ratio.
Right? We're gonna use the mole ratio to get. Oops. Let me type. To get moles of what?
Zinc chloride.
Zinc chloride, and then finally we get what?
So then you go to the number of atoms, right?
Right. So yeah, that's your strategy. So the first thing that you should be doing is your 50 grams HCl to moles HCl. However you might do that, use blend.
You're gonna use molar mass. So you do 50 grams of HCl. And then you will put 36 grams on the bottom.
Good job, good job.
Then you gotta do 50 divided by 36, and you get 1.3, and it's a whole bunch of 8s and a 9.
And what's my units?
And you get moles. But then after you go from that, you got the modes. Then you gotta go to modes of zinc. I mean, yeah.
Perfect. What do you use?
To get the modes, you gotta use the mode ratio.
Perfect.
Now you gotta do for HCI, you gotta put 2,
And
and for the zinc chloride, you put 1.
cool.
Now you're gonna put you gotta put 1.3888.
Perfect.
And then you can put HCl, 2 modes of HCl on the bottom.
Dang.
And then you put the 1 mole of zinc chloride on top. 0.695.
And what's the units?
And you get modes of zinc chloride.
Perfect. Good job.
That's it, right?
Is it?
Oh,
The question
no,
asked
because you gotta find the atoms.
right. So now we're going from what?
I'm going to it. Once you go from modes, you gotta multiply by 6.02 times 10 times 10.
Perfect. Do you remember what that number's called?
No.
Avogadro's number, like avocado.